there is nothing more South African than lighting a fire and cooking a meal, and it's something that crosses racial, cultural, religious and social boundaries. The Braai4Heritage initiative calls on all South Africans to unite around fires and share and celebrate our unique cultures and heritage. Now, Jan Scannell, more commonly known as Jan Braai, is the man behind the Braai4Heritage initiative, and he joins us now from our Sea Point studio in Cape Town. Good afternoon, Jan. Thanks so much for joining us, and happy Heritage Day.
Same to you, Peter. What a fantastic day, a public holiday to celebrate living in the greatest country in the world.
Ah, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so Braai4Heritage, what was behind the idea of giving it a name? Because as you say, I think this is something that we've done anyway for years and years and years.
Yes, and I think you also touched upon that with the previous person that you interviewed about literature. In Africa, certainly it's not just about stuff that's written in books. Through generations, thousands of years, the way that we got together as Africans and the way that stories were told is around the fire. And in all 11 official languages in South Africa, the one word we all use, there are many words, is braai. And that's the idea. There's a public holiday to share and celebrate South African heritage. But let's start actively doing it. And I will say this on live TV, we can be better than passively sitting on the sidelines and listening to political speeches on a day that is so important for South Africa. Let's actively get together with people from our own cultures, where older people can tell younger people about the history and heritage. And also let's get together as South Africans and share our various heritages and what makes it up across cultural barriers. And let's be frank, the one place where all South Africans get together is around the fire.
And I like the way that you put it at the end there, where you said how we all come together, it's around a fire. And perhaps we call it different things, and that's probably, some people get stuck on this word braai and says it's not my culture. But how do you answer that?
I think you can look at a half-full glass or a half-empty glass, and certainly at the millions of braais around the country happening right now, most South Africans are looking at the glass certainly being half full of whether it's wine, beer, or maybe even just half a glass of water that's half full with water, because it's also raining finally in most parts of South Africa. I think if you want to find problems in society, you can always find problems with absolutely anything, especially when it's a new idea, maybe a bit of a left field idea. But we need nation building in this country. What South Africa dearly needs is social cohesion. We've seen it. The Braai4Heritage project has been running for 15 years now, calling on all South Africans to use National Heritage Day, to unite around a fire, share and celebrate our heritage, and wave our flag. It's been going for 15 years, but events of the past few months certainly proves how vitally important a nation-building project is in South Africa.
All right, so 15 years down the line, what do you think it's been able to achieve, this Braai4Heritage project?
I think it's played a massive role in getting South Africans to actively celebrate Heritage Day. If we think back 15 years ago, nobody really knew what to do today. And even those that have a problem with the project, National Braai Day, even those people, it's opened up a debate within South Africa. And I think it's made many more people think about what does our heritage mean to us, and where do we actually come from, and what do you actually want to do today?
I think people are starting to think about what it means to be South African, and not perhaps, because often what we find is that people remain separate. I'll have a braai with my mates, and then black people will do it themselves, Indians will do it themselves, etc., etc. Are we starting to come together at all from where you're standing and watching?
Peter, again, it's how you want to perceive society. As I sit here in your studios in Sea Point, I smell of braai smoke. I was at a lunchtime braai with some friends. Then I headed to Maiden's Cove. It's about 2-3 kilometers from where I'm sitting right now. And anybody who's been to Maiden's Cove, or in fact any public braai area in South Africa today, will definitely not make that statement. I was there with a BBC TV crew filming the royal visit to South Africa, trying to showcase to the British public what happens in South Africa on this day. And there were South Africans, and in fact Africans from all walks of life, all colors of the rainbow, and everybody enjoying braais and waving the rainbow flag.
All right, perhaps we end with a final message to anybody who's thinking about this and not quite sure how to place it. What do you say to them to make them feel comfortable?
We live in the greatest country in the world. Let us focus on the positives. Let's find joy in all the privileges that we have not living in Europe, not living in the East. We're living at the southern tip of Africa. We've got beautiful nature. We've got friendly people. We've got to my mind, even solid economy. And you offered me the opportunity to say some final words. I'm heading to a braai now with my two best friends, Marie and Jan. There's another friend there, Nico, who's going to pour the wine. The malva pudding was made by Abby, and I'm sure it will be fantastic. The salads by Deecha and Ina. And we've even got some impact players from Europe experiencing African culture today, Helen and Scott. And I'm going to walk out of the studio now and do what millions of people are doing today, celebrating being South Africa around a braai fire.
Fantastic. Jan, thanks so much indeed for your time, and good luck with the next 15 years of this project. That was Jan Scannell, Scannell, who's the founder of this Braai4Heritage project that is being celebrated by many across the country.